Welcome, welcome. We are in Psalm chapter 4. Drop in the chat how you feeling. This is our Bible study. Drop in the chat how you feeling. What did you do over the weekend? How was Thanksgiving? Did you eat some good food? How many days do you eat leftovers? Do you stop on Saturday? Where are you at with your leftovers? Let me know. Are they all gone? Did you have to throw some out? Did you freeze them? What do you do with your leftovers? Okay. And for those of you who are watching this in the future, when it's not after Thanksgiving, just let me know how you're doing in the chat, how you're doing in the comment section. Today we're going to be reading Psalm 4. I'm going to read it out loud. It's pretty short, and then I'm going to give opportunity for you to provide your feedback and what stood out to you. So I am studying this and reading this in real time for you so that you have an opportunity to hear the scripture, and then also after you hear it, that you have time to think about, what may have stood out to you, and what God is going to have you to continue to reflect on throughout the rest of this week. This is a study Bible that I did receive, the MacArthur Study Bible, the New King James Version, MacArthur Study Bible, just for your reference, because I will be sharing some of the study notes and what stands out to me in the text. And so I want to make sure that if you don't have a study Bible, that you understand this is a big part of going deeper in your relationship with God, having a study Bible so you can lean in a little more. Now, I've been slipping. I haven't been spending as much time as I should. I haven't been reading as much as I should. So God is really pushing me to get where you need to be so you're not missing what I have for you. And so I encourage you with the same thing. Get where you need to be with God so you're not missing what he has for you. So I'm going to start reading Psalms 4, New King James Version from the MacArthur Study Bible. Hear me. Okay, so it's the safety of the faithful, to the chief musician with string instruments, a psalm of David. Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. You have relieved me in my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long, O you sons of men, will you turn my glory to shame? How long will you love worthlessness and seek falsehood? But know that the Lord has set apart for himself him who is godly. The Lord will hear when I call to him. Be angry and do not sin. Meditate with your heart on your bed and be still. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. There are many who will say, who will show us any good? Lord, lift up the light of your countenance upon us. You have put gladness in my heart, more than in the season that their grain and wine increased. I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Man, okay, so when I'm listening to this and I'm reading this part of the scripture, there's a few things that stood out to me. And here's a few verses that stood out to me. And while I'm reflecting, I want you to reflect on what stood out to you as well. But I will say that verse 4, be angry and do not sin. Meditate within your heart on your bed and be still. So when I'm reading the word, I think, okay, what exactly are they saying? How does it apply to me now? So one of the things that stood out to me is meditate within your heart on your bed and be still. And then also be angry and do not sin. So if I go to the study portion of the Bible, it says in this context, the admonition, admonition. Oh no, I'm saying that wrong. Why is my tongue tying right now? In this context, it means to tremble or shake in the fear of the Lord so as not to sin. Okay, so it means to me, what I imagine is that I'm shaking. I'm so mad. Like, I imagine like, oh my gosh, I'm so angry. Y'all, this could be a totally wrong interpretation, but this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm sensing as I'm reading this. Like, I'm so mad right now. Like, ooh, like you ever been so mad you start crying, like them hot tears come down your eyes, like, ooh. And so I feel like you can have that much anger inside of you, but still not react in a way that puts you out of the fruits of the spirit, out of in alignment with God is doing, and not sin, not cuss somebody out, right? Or not do somebody dirty, or do something that's not integral. So yes, we can have times where we get ticked off, where we are not understanding why we're in the situation. We have a doctor that talked to us crazy. We got family that talked to us crazy. Maybe even your husband talked to you crazy. I don't know. Who is somebody? We all have like a coworker, someone. But when I hear be angry and do not sin, it makes me realize that God sees that I am a human being. And as human beings, we have feelings. And so even though we don't get stuck in our feelings, it's like, to me, this word is acknowledging that God sees who we are as humans with our feelings, but he just wants us to not sin because of our feelings, and not act out of character because of our feelings, and not lose our witness to other non-believers because of our feelings. So that's what stood out to me. Another thing that stood out to me was, I will lie down in peace, and I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. And so verse 8 in the study section says the word safety introduces a play on words by going back to the term trust. David evidences a total confidence in God amidst the crisis. So literally, I feel like David was in the middle of crisis. So when he said safety, he means literal safety. Like, I believe that even though my enemies are all around me, in context, because this may not be context specifically for this, but in general, like physical safety concerns, like somebody might bust down my tent. I don't know what they were living in back then, or they might bust down this brick home, whatever they might do. This could be a real actual safety concern. And so while I'm not negating that in 2024 or whatever year this is that you're watching, that there is not legit safety concerns, because, you know, if you listen to the prophecies, we don't know what's about to happen in these next few years where we have legitimate safety concerns. And I definitely understand that different places of the world, they literally have legitimate safety concerns. But most of us here in the US don't have those things constantly as a daily basis, like a legitimate safety concern. Granted, there are some areas where you definitely do, so I'm not negating that. But when I read this Bible telling me in Psalms 8 that I will both lie down in peace and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. One of the things I think about is our spiritual mindset and our spiritual safety, like the rest and ease in our mind. Can I lay down? Can I sleep peacefully? Can my mind calm down? For some of us, like the peace might be like the to-do list that of all the things I have to do. I read that one of you posted that my to-do list is what's going through my mind when I'm trying to sleep and I'm trying to rest. I keep thinking about all the things I have to do, and I do the same thing. And one of the things that I have learned is if you are trying to go to sleep and that to-do list can't get out of your head, get up, write the to-do list fully out, write out everything you could possibly think of to push through all the thought processes that are required to get the things done on your to-do list. Go ahead and get up and write them all the way out. And not just try to, okay, well, I'm gonna just try to sleep through it anyway. No, because your brain is already working. So you might as well go ahead and work it and then try to go back to sleep. So it's a part of our daily routines that we have to start our bedtime routine earlier by writing out the things that are on our mind and our to-do list, and navigating a portion of our day where we can dedicate to that, so that when you can lie down, it'll be both in peace and sleep. Because you can lie down and not be peaceful and barely get your sleep. You can lie down and be having horrific nightmares. You can lie down and not be able to rest. You can lie down and then you wake up the next morning and you're still exhausted. So understanding that this is the declaration. This is not just a scripture. Like, this is a new declaration for us in the sleep challenge that we're working on this month in December, that I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. And whether that be physical or spiritual safety, declaring and decreeing that God, you alone, make me dwell in safety. I will lie down in peace and sleep. So I'm not just laying in the bed, I'm doing it peaceful and I'm getting all the sleep and the rest that I need. So that stood out to me. That was the highlight, really, verse 8, especially with us focusing on sleep and understanding the power that comes in sleep. Sleep is when your body is restored, when all your cells are regenerating. Mentally, it's when our brains get to shut down and then we're in our most subconscious state, which also means that's time that the enemy tries to attack. So you have to make sure that you prepared your mind for the sleep that you want to get, for the peaceful sleep that you're desiring and that you're going after. It's definitely important that your sleep be sweet and that you organize your day in such a way that you prioritize your sleep and your rest. And whatever that takes, make sure you're doing your magnesium, make sure you're writing out things on your list so that your mind and your brain can process everything that you are having to juggle in your life, with your job, with your family, with your husband, with your fertility, whatever it may be. Make sure that you are actually asking God to order your footsteps step by step. He's a lamp unto your feet and your light into your path, which means you only get a little bit of direction. Sometimes he only gives a little bit of direction at a time. And so you got to be sensitive and we got to draw near so we can hear those instructions. So that's what stood out to me in Psalms 4. Let me know in the chat what stood out to you. And also, even if you don't have what stood out to you, let me know how your weekend was. What are you dealing with this week? What are you struggling with this week? What was your focus this week? How was your sleep been? What are some things that hindered you being able to get the sleep that you need? What are some things that help you better with the sleep that you need? Are you having more dreams? So give me your feedback about the scripture or about sleeping for the past week, or anything dealing with this focus for the month. I would love to hear your feedback, and please share. I'm not pulling no legs. Share it in the comments, share it in the chat if you're watching the replay, in the comments about what you got from Psalms 4. It's a pretty short chapter, so I'll be listening. I'm going to pause here and see what you have to say so we can chat and just really allow God to move in this conversation.